If you've been dealing with bloating, heartburn, or indigestion, you're not alone. These are some of the most common digestive issues people face every day. In this video, I'm sharing some of the best natural remedies, especially herbs for digestive issues. These herbs, along with probiotics, can help you find relief and restore balance to your digestive system naturally. Yes, you can support your gut health without relying on harsh medications or complicated treatments. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Gayla Gorman, a licensed acupuncturist, naturopath, and author of What's Your Kryptonite? On this channel, I'm here to help you reverse the effects of chronic stress so that you can cruise through midlife and beyond symptom free, so that you can put an end to common midlife symptoms like chronic fatigue, insomnia, mood swings, issues with gut health, and even weight gain. Let's just start by talking about these really common digestive issues and what's really going on in your body. Heartburn is like a burning sensation in the chest, and it's caused by acid reflux. This is where stomach acid backs up into the esophagus. It's often triggered by certain foods, overeating, or lying down after meals. Chronic heartburn may indicate GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, and this can lead to complications like inflammation or even Barrett's esophagus if it's left untreated. This burning pain in the chest and throat, it can even cause a bitter or acidic taste in the mouth. And often for people who experience this, it's really worse when lying down or bending over. It's thought that this is due to a weak esophageal sphincter. I'm going to talk to you in a about some other causes that might really be the important thing to understand so that you can get to the root cause of this problem. Trigger foods can also contribute, but I don't think it's trigger foods like they're thinking of trigger foods. They're talking about trigger foods like citrus, chocolate, caffeine. I'm talking about trigger foods like things that you have food sensitivities with. So, lifestyle changes can be helpful, smaller meals, avoiding these trigger foods, especially things that are known food sensitivities. If you're not sure which things you're sensitive to, then I recommend avoiding what I refer to as the fierce five. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Medications often make the problem worse long term, antacids and some of the other things that are recommended, H2 blockers or proton pump inhibitors. You may think that they're managing symptoms in the long term, but they're creating bigger issues. So it's really important to get to the root cause of this problem and not just suppress the symptoms. I will say that in many cases, the reason why this happens is because of not enough stomach acid. The stomach acid is actually what makes that sphincter strong and closes completely. And so, as that weakens over time, and coupled with reduced stomach acid, which is only made worse by some of these medications, then the problem will get worse over time. And so there are some things that you can do in addition to some of the herbs that we're going to talk about to help rebuild your stomach acid in a healthy way and just heal your overall digestive tract. Indigestion is another problem, kind of related. Indigestion refers to discomfort in the upper abdomen after eating. So it's just a little lower than the esophagus, upper abdomen. And it could be bloating, nausea, or even just a feeling of fullness that is out of proportion to how much you ate. This can also be linked to other conditions like GERD or even ulcers. And so once you have digestive issues, it tends to link the whole digestive tract. This pain or burning in the upper abdomen really can even lead to excessive burping and be obnoxious, honestly, for you personally and then those around you. You may find that eating spicy food or fatty foods or acidic foods, especially stress. Stress can definitely create a problem. And really, that's because stress takes our immune system offline and activates our vagus nerve, not in a good way. We need to be in a relaxed state for proper digestion. And so it's really important if you have these kinds of issues to use some of your soothing tools like breathing exercises and that sort of thing to soothe your nervous system before you sit down to eat a meal. And you need to make sure you're sitting down to eat your meal and that you're not rushing through it and that you're chewing appropriately. The next issue, again, traveling a little bit further down the digestive tract, is your bowels, and it's irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. This is a chronic disorder that primarily affects the large intestine. So remember, in between is the small intestine, and the small intestine is basically where everything gets separated and our body figures out what it can use and then discards the rest. And it's supposed to go ultimately end up in the large intestine. So when you have irritable bowel syndrome, it's characterized by abdominal pain. And you would think that this abdominal pain would be a little lower than the abdominal pain that we talked about earlier. This kind of abdominal pain is often relieved by a bowel movement. So if you've got constipation, then that can really allow this abdominal pain to linger. The alternative is diarrhea. And while this might feel like a relief initially, it can often escalate to a problem that then requires some sort of medication to calm down. So we definitely don't want to go back and forth between constipation and diarrhea. So if you're seeing these sorts of issues, bloating and excessive gas, just know that you may have to really become more and more aware of what's causing this sort of reaction for you and really unravel the mystery, connect the dots so that you can get to the root cause of the problem. This irritable bowel syndrome or any of these digestive tract issues really do allow dis-ease to escalate to disease. And it's just not a path that you want to continue down. You want to take this seriously and do things to help mitigate the damage now and then allow your body to do what it does naturally, and that's heal itself. The way we deal with any of these digestive issues typically are by using dietary changes. But what I often find is that the very diet that somebody adopts may work initially. And so they think they've found the panacea, it's going to last forever. But what happens is you tend to plateau fairly quickly, and then you're not seeing additional improvements. And then you go off the diet, and all the symptoms are flooding back. And so what that means is that you really haven't found what really is the root cause of the problem. So again, you don't want to be turning to medications for symptom relief. You need to experience the symptoms honestly, because that's going to give you the motivation to put this together and connect the dots so that we can reverse course. The stress reduction techniques are going to be super helpful for you here. And really, you want to keep your parasympathetic nervous system active. This is what's going to support your body's ability to not just do digestion, but also do repair and maintenance. Now, let's talk about some herbs that will help you with these symptoms. They're not going to necessarily solve the problem. We need to get to the root cause of the problem, but these are far preferable if you are dealing with symptoms that seem to be kind of unmanageable, and you definitely want to use these before turning to medications. So the first one we'll talk about here is ginger tea. Ginger tea is really helpful if you've got stomach pain. It has really long been recognized for its digestive benefits. It speeds up the movement of food through the gastrointestinal tract. So it can really help to relieve symptoms like bloating, cramping, and indigestion. I will say that if you tend to diarrhea, ginger's probably not the greatest solution for you. It's got anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, so it really helps to protect the gut lining. But it may reduce stomach acid. And so if you have issues related to heartburn, it may not be the best option for you because your issue may actually be not enough stomach acid to completely and securely close that sphincter. So some of these herbs are really used effectively for certain types of digestive issues, but they are not a one size fits all. Ginger stimulates the digestive enzymes and really, as we mentioned, improves the motility in the digestive system. Next is peppermint. It's really great for bloating. It's a really gentle herb with anti-spasmodic and anti-inflammatory properties. It really helps to soothe the digestive tract. If you've eaten a big meal, drinking some warm peppermint tea can really help to just sort of coax your digestive system to relax, because relaxation is what really helps with the digestion. You want these relaxed intestinal muscles, and that is going to reduce cramping and some of these symptoms from the indigestion. It also has mild antiseptic properties that protect against harmful bacteria. Then there's chamomile tea. Chamomile can be really helpful if you have trouble sleeping. Chamomile can be great to use as part of your evening wind down routine. It's really helpful and also soothes the digestive tract, and it has some of the similar properties of peppermint. It's got a very different flavor. Peppermint can feel almost exciting, and chamomile is much more soothing and relaxing. So it can be really helpful to use peppermint after a meal when you want to kind of move things through and you don't mind being somewhat stimulated. But chamomile is better used in the evening when you're winding down. So remember, chamomile is relaxing the vagus nerve, activating your parasympathetic nervous system. It relaxes the smooth muscles in the intestines, and that helps to reduce inflammation. You can steep chamomile flowers yourself, but honestly, it's easier to just buy a high quality organic chamomile tea that has already been prepared. And then all you need to do is just warm some water and drop a tea bag in it. We want to make sure that it's convenient, because the more convenient it is, the more likely it is that you'll actually use it. Fennel seeds might not be thought of in the same way as an herb, but they actually are an herb. They're rich in fiber and essential oils, and these promote digestion by relaxing the gastrointestinal muscles as well. They also can reduce gas from forming. They are anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial, and they soothe irritation in the intestines. So fennel seeds can be a great thing even to include in your food if you find that meals seem to be really activating some of these issues for you. You want to make sure that you chew fennel seeds with or after meals. You can also brew them into tea, but then you've got to crush them in advance. And so this is just another example where it's just easier to sprinkle a few on what you're eating. And as long as you don't mind the taste, then this will really help you to make it easy to just incorporate this into your normal routine. There's nothing quite like the discomfort caused by doing something that's supposed to support our health, eating a meal. Yeah, for many of us, even the thought of that discomfort is causing stress and sabotaging an otherwise healthy choice. This is an example of one of the countless ways stress creates symptoms and other health issues, especially during midlife. I created a video that shows you how to eliminate symptoms naturally, so I'll make sure to link to it below this video. But make sure you hit subscribe too, because I share a lot of tips when it comes to dealing with stress that's become toxic. Relieving the nasty symptoms stress creates makes navigating through midlife a breeze. Now I want to talk about what I promised you at the top of this video. And that's a little discussion here about probiotics. In a 2023 study published on PubMed, it was found that probiotics really improve intestinal barrier function. So, leaky gut is a big problem, and probiotics can be really helpful here. And they also modulate the immune system. Now, you're going to want the immune system modulated, especially if you have leaky gut, because what the leaky gut does is allow things to get through the intestinal barrier and they get into areas of the body where they're not supposed to be. And that fires up your immune system. So it's really important that we work on this in conjunction with doing some of the things to soothe the digestive system that we've already talked about, but we really want to heal it long term. So we need to inhibit what your body sees as pathogens. And we do that by sealing up this digestive barrier, the intestinal barrier. Probiotic application extends to even preventing these gastrointestinal disorders, including allergies, and really can even help to protect against cancer. The source of your probiotic and how it's delivered is really important. If it's delivered in a way that preserves its viability, then that's going to really enhance its effectiveness. And you want to make sure that you're getting bang for the buck when you're taking these probiotics. Another way we really help to heal the gut is by eating fiber-rich foods. This helps intestinal mobility. Things will move through your digestive system better if they're high in fiber. Those include whole grains. You need to be careful here because whole grains can trigger food sensitivities in a lot of people. Better to turn to fruits, vegetables, and beans, legumes of some sort, because these can really help promote regular bowel movements and prevent constipation. You don't want to have to turn to something to promote that mobility if you don't have to, and eating more fiber-rich foods will really help. Soluble fiber also helps to feed the beneficial gut bacteria. So if you're taking probiotics, you really don't want to be taking those long term. You want to use some sort of probiotic that the delivery system allows it to basically get into your digestive tract and then stay there and set up house. And these kinds of foods like fiber and what we're going to talk about in a minute will really help to establish a long-term healthy microbiome and make really good use of the probiotics that you introduce. The next thing is fermented foods. Those are kefir, sauerkraut, and usually yogurt. I will say you need to be careful with yogurt. Yogurt is dairy, and a lot of people report that when they eliminate dairy from their diet, all kinds of good things happen with their digestion. So if you're going to use yogurt, you might want to turn to coconut yogurt or even oat milk yogurt if that suits you. These fermented foods enhance gut health by balancing the microbiota and really improve digestion. They can help alleviate symptoms of bloating and indigestion. The other thing I will say here is that you've got to make sure you're floating the boat. That's the way we refer to it in functional medicine. And that requires that you are well hydrated. I recommend 60 to 100 ounces of high quality water every day. And high quality means 3-stage reverse osmosis. If that's not possible, then you want to use spring or distilled water. You can also use hydrating foods. These would help to enhance any water that you're consuming. Cucumbers, watermelon, and soups really help with digestion and prevent dehydration. A smooth bowel movement that happens first thing in the morning is a great indication that your digestive system is functioning well and is in optimal health. And if your best efforts to live a healthy lifestyle and do all the things you've been led to think are supposed to work aren't getting the job done, you may even be feeling like you take 2 steps forward and 3 back. In my next video, I'll show you how to manage the toxic stress that's sabotaging your efforts. You can eliminate the symptoms that seem to be piling up in midlife naturally. without medication, crazy diets, intense exercise, or any other unsustainable lifestyle